Hey, what up, everybody? Week 2 of the NFL, San Francisco 49ers. We got the late one. We're going to be on the one that matters. We're going to be on NBC, the nightly game of the week. The San Francisco 49ers playing at home. We're going to be opening up our brand new, beautiful park there, the home of WrestleMania 31. We're going to be down there on NBC. This is not going to be one of those preseason games where they kicked off. Come on down, visit the stadium, and, see it for the first time. This is going to be, a real game going on. We're going to be playing against the Chicago Bears. I know that the Bears didn't really show up, week 1. In a weird one, they lost to the Bufftown Bills. Buffalo isn't a great team. I was sort of surprised by the Bears losing that game. I had picked them to win it. I thought that the Chicago Bears were going to be a playoff team this year. Big shout-outs to my buddy Team Rai out there. He's really representing Chicago. He's a big Bears fan, but I think he would easily say that the Niners are going to be able to pull this game out. I think that if you looked at the way the Niners played week 1, they showed up to play against the Dallas Cowboys, a team that a lot of people thought was not a real high caliber team, but I think when you give away the game in the first quarter, the way the Cowboys did, when you're basically minutes in and you're down 21-0, it's going to be hard to come back from that. And people will say what they want to say about Tony Romo, but I think the Cowboys could bounce back. I don't think they're a great team in the East. But I think definitely that they're going to win a few, and the Niners got a good win there. The Bears are a team, that honestly I think could be a playoff team. They're 0-1. You definitely don't want to start a season 0-2, so they're going to come out. They're going to be desperate. Definitely when you look at the Chicago Bears, a team that's always been built around defense for years and years. Basically, Lance Briggs and Jared Allen, I don't think is the basis of the world's best defense this later on in their career. I can remember back, I can't remember how many years ago it was when basically the 49ers got in trouble. We lost a draft pick for collusion by basically going out and trying to get Lance Briggs to sign and come be a part of our linebacking team here when he was still under contract with the Bears. I think he turned us in when basically the deal couldn't be what he wanted it to be, and we got popped. We lost a draft pick. Life goes on. We're able to move on. We built our own linebacking core, built around Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman. Bowman this week took a huge stride in getting back ready. I think his goal is to be at the game where the Niners host the Seattle Seahawks as his season opening performance. He's started taking big strides in his rehabilitation. He's running sprints now. So he won't be on the field next week or the week after that, but definitely that is a big uplift. The San Francisco 49ers took a real big, sort of punch in the gut this week. I don't think it's the hugest hole. He was the guy that I liked. LaMichael James cut from the team. He cleared waivers, and as far as I know, still doesn't have a job in the NFL. Nobody's picked him up. No stories have really come out, which is really, really weird. A guy with a whole bunch of speed. That I think has a whole bunch of skill. I was really surprised that the Niners wouldn't keep him around as sort of a guy that could return kickoffs, a guy that could return punts. I know that people are saying that Ellington's going to be taking over that job. Ellington's even been able helping out the running backs in practice. He's the guy who sort of has a wide receiver name tag on him, but he's going to be doing just about anything and everything on the team, just about anything you can do. Jay Cutler, Matt Forte, they hooked up last week. Basically, they're passing, out of the backfield really killed the Bills. He had more yards receiving than he did rushing. He did 82 yards rushing, 87 yards on 87 receptions last week. Brandon Marshall caught 8 balls as well. So the Chicago Bears defense built around Jay Cutler as a team that really can pass it around. I know that with the 49ers front line, having some holes in it. Of course, we have Alvin Smith, who's serving his 9-game suspension. McDonald didn't seem like he had his head in the game last week. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could even go through that. Why McDonald is even playing and practicing with this team. Basically, the 49ers announcer was suspended for 2 games, basically for just giving his thoughts on the Ray Rice elevator incident. When he was asked, basically he said he just sort of made comments about how Ray Rice's wife could marry him after that, and he got a suspension, but now here we are. McDonald is still on the field practicing and playing with the San Francisco 49ers. This is my team, and I'm throwing rocks at them. How backsided and two-faced is that? The announcer gets suspended for just words, and here is the player with actions. And he's still out there, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. I heard that the case wasn't excused, but basically the case was pushed back with no further date about when they were going to come back together. I don't know if somebody's trying to build a better case against them, or if somebody just sees that there's not going to be a case because nobody's really going to testify to the situation. Maybe there's just not enough evidence, but basically everybody knows that something went down there, so it's kind of shady. The Niners, I think that they were on point last week. I mean, Colin Kaepernick, over 200 yards. He threw for 2 touchdowns, both of them going to Vernon Davis. Antoine Bolden got his reception. Stevie Johnson only caught 2 balls. Crabtree in his hometown, playing in Dallas for the first time, he caught 2 balls as well. He had a little bit of injury last week. He'll be a little bit stronger this week. So I think that passing game is probably going to step up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Colin Kaepernick at least over 250 yards. Splitting the ball in the backfield, Carlos Hyde, he caught a pretty good week. 7 carries for over 50 yards. Frank Gore, 16 carries for 66 yards. I like to see the rushing yards go up. It was a sigh of relief not to see Colin Kaepernick running out of the backfield like he has the last 2 years. Every time he gets the ball in his hands, it seems like that he can't have his eye on one guy. It seemed like he wasn't pointing in on one receiver, and if that guy didn't have it, then he was like, oh, I'm going to rely on my feet and I'm going to go. He seems to be being able to view the whole field, which I think is definitely going to make him a better quarterback in the future. Sometimes I put this guy on a pedestal as being, one of the best in the NFL, and I don't realize how young he is and into his NFL career. And, quarterbacks are good, but quarterbacks don't become great until they've been there for a few years. Then they're able to read defenses that are coming at them, and this team's only going to get better. I've said this 1,000 times. The San Francisco 49ers this year have a real special team. They're playing with a now or never sort of feel. I think that a lot of people are trying to say that they want to go to the Super Bowl and they want to win because it's Super Bowl 49 and they're the San Francisco 49ers. That's bullshit. The Niners have wanted to win the Super Bowl for years. They didn't care if they won 47. They didn't care if they won 48. They just want to hold that Lombardi trophy. We got a good team of guys that are going to go out there and do everything they can to make sure they win football games. And on Sunday, on NBC, we're going to beat the Bears. I guarantee it. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.